Anne, come on over.
All right, let's do this. Now, I do kind of wish that interview went about 10 more minutes long, longer, so I could hear a little bit more. I was like, oh wait, we missed the middle. Got the end, and I got the beginning, but missed the middle. That's okay. Next year, I don't know. Maybe we could do a blog. All right, so here we go. We are going to do some more prizes, of course. So we've got, I'm going to save one mask, one t-shirt, the We Do Hard Things shoes, hat, and sweatshirt for the end. And but I'm going to do a couple little things right now. So we have 2 studio bags. Do that. See what we got. We got Annette Bennett and Adam Lee. Adam Lee, you got a studio bag. Oh goodness, I love it. Congratulations, Adam.
Woo!
All right, cool. Let's do a private lesson. Let's do Monique's private lesson. Boeing. I don't think Boeing can take a lesson. Thank you, Boeing. If you want to take a lesson, give me a call. Sarah Wagner is our lesson with Monique. 2 studio bags. And let's do one more t-shirt. Let's do 2 more t-shirts. And then we'll save one for the end. Okay. And Mary Hoagland Schur and Shawnee Chisholm. Here are 2 more t-shirts for you guys. All right. All right, I think that does it. We're going to save the rest for the very end. I've got one more chance. So I wanted to look at another team photo. We can get another glimpse into what our rehearsals for the teams are looking at like right now. So we have seen youth premieres and junior shows. I don't think we had a look at junior premieres. Let's see what makes sense. There we go. Oh yes, preteen show. Let's read some of their messages. Together we are beautiful. I agree. Together we are beautiful. Brave. Dancing is awesome. I agree. We are brave. I think it's interesting to think about being brave during this time. You do have to be, it's a different kind of reaching in for a different kind of courage, but it's true. Let's see, stand together. Today we are standing together as a community. It's wonderful. Let's see, so many wonderful things, and look at those beautiful smiles. I love them. All right. Remember, you can still donate by texting PBD Strong, one word, to 44321. Oh, hey, 97 donors. We are 3 away. I think that we can do it in the next hour. We have 1 more hour. We have some amazing. We have 3 more guests, and they're gonna be so much fun to watch and to hear from. We need 3 more donors. Can we do it? What do you think? Should I? Maybe I can get Adam and we could shoot these at each other. If we get 100 donors. I've got 5 more. Dangerous, maybe? I don't know. All right, so let's make that happen. Let's do it. Let's get on our social media. Let's share with our friends. Let's really just take this all the way to our next goal. All right, I'm super excited to welcome our next guest. I've been texting with her a little bit, and she's the nicest person ever because I keep misspelling her name. Oh, goodness sakes. But let's first welcome Monique, and then she can tell us all about her guest today.
Hello, I'm back in. Good to see you. My camera adjusted itself while I was goofing around in my house. Sorry. It's been a long time, since about 2:40, right? Since Mr. Ben. You guys have been working hard. Congratulations. Good job. Woohoo! On a roll. I love it. So Anne just left me, and I'm introducing Miss Melissa Maririch. Can she join me, please? Are you there, Melissa?
Hello.
There's my friend.
How are you?
Doing, girl?
So good
You
to see you.
Fabulous. You look fabulous.
Thank you.
Even since Christmas, I think I saw you singing Christmas during Christmas, right? Your hair grows very fast, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
I
Thanks.
remember a fond memory trying to put your hair up in nationals. That was enough to want to make me drive me crazy. You have more hair than anybody I know. It's amazing.
It's so funny that you remember that so pointedly, because I was, prepping for this, and I was thinking about, I mean, I don't know how I was like, how am I going to choose all of these memories for years and years? And that one did stick with me. I was like, oh my gosh, I remember the one time Monique had to do my hair. That was
We didn't have much time, and I kept going, there's more hair to wrap. There's more hair to wrap. I can't believe this. Well, anyway.
And you were prepping it for Latin dancing, so I was going to be whipping around. This is a fun segue too. Whipping it into Ben's face. So for everyone watching, the last person that Monique was interviewing today was Ben Ralph, who was my dance partner at the time. And if she didn't get my hair right, I was going to be whipping poor Ben in the face with all his hair. So
yep, it might have not happened, that dancing. So you started out at PBD, yes, and Pacific Ballroom Dance. And how did you get started? I don't even know.
Oh, really? Yeah. So I somewhat of a common story for little girls who love to dance. So I started dancing ballet when I was 5, and that was the result of I had been dancing. I had 2 older sisters that danced, and I was always leaping around the house, and it was like it was to save the rest of my family members was to put me in dance, because otherwise I ran into my brothers, caused collisions. So it was a self-preservation thing for my family. So I started ballet when I was 5, and I loved it, and I was pretty seriously tracking I thought, to be a professional ballerina. And I, went on point and did all this stuff. And then about when I was 13, I'd been going pretty seriously for a long time and felt a little burned out, and just that it wasn't what I wanted to do only for the rest of my life. But so I quit, but I missed dancing. And this is kind of a funny confluence of things and taste and interest. So I had grown up watching like Fred Astaire and Ginger Rogers and all those good movies. And I have a great aunt and uncle who love to dance, and they're these wonderful social dancers. They're just very classy. And my mom had this idea when I left ballet. She was like, Melissa, you love watching Fred and Ginger Rogers. Wouldn't it be fun to pick up some ballroom dancing? So she asked my aunt and uncle. And I don't even know how they found out about PBD, but they may have just done a Google search and ballroom dancing for youth or whatever. And that was kind of it. My mom looked up classes, I guess. And my first class was with Matt Longhurst, who was the interview just before this. So it's really funny. So I started then, and I think I was there for like 6 months with this beginning class. And then it was about time for auditions for teams. And I was like, this is really fun. And so, yeah. And then Adam Lee, who was interviewing Matt just before this, was my partner and helped coach me through that process. So anyway, I think probably what many people have said in these interviews today is that kind of once you get the first taste of PBD, you're kind of hooked. You just kind of decide to stay because you love the people. You can't wiggle out. It's great.
So you were 13 when you started, and you were dancing since you were 5 in ballet, right? Yeah. And then, so you're of course an alumni, and I know you've been in because I worked with you as a coach. I was lucky enough to have you and Ben when PBD was starting to really do a lot more with their starting to build the competitive side of the dancing beyond the teams, and more couples were joining in. Oh, there they are. Beautiful. And you guys decided to go big and strong in a very short period of time, like in 6 months, do both standard and Latin. Smooth wasn't really that big of a thing yet for everybody. So we didn't do any smooth, I don't think, and we had enough on our plate with the standard and the Latin. But you guys embraced it and worked so well together. It was so much fun. Yeah. Do you have any fond memories of competition?
So many. I mean, it was such a great time. I mean, I think of that as sort of my golden days in high school. And, Ben became such a good friend. Look at that. Do you see that? We were all so thrilled with that photo. I just love that.
You look very happy. You all look very happy. Oh, yeah. What was that one for?
that's when we found out we won syllabus standard, and I think that was, like not many months after we'd started dancing together and started
Yeah.
coaching with you. And yeah, it was a great time. Well, you remember, as just as well as how many. I mean, I just think of all the hours we spent driving back and forth and lessons and practicing together, and we became kind of best buds. So
Well, I remember the driving. I gave him a bad time on his interview. I asked him if he still drives fast, and he said yes. And I said, "You still do donuts?" And I said yes. He said yes, and I was cracking up because I'm like, "Oh, if Stephanie, if your mom still knew, she would probably be going, oh." So now she knows if she's watching.
well, on the subject of driving, Ben may have driven slightly fast, but he was a very skilled driver and very generous. So he was just a couple years older than I am. So by the time I got my license, he wanted to show me how to drive stick and stick shift. And I remember that this one time we were leaving a practice or a rehearsal together, and he showed me how to like pull out and do the like switch. Anybody who knows stick shift driving will know what I'm talking about, and I don't, because it was a short-lived endeavor. He tried to show me, and first it was like beginner's luck. I was like really good, and he was like, dang, Melissa's gonna be like a great driver. And then I like quickly killed it, and I was like, you're driving from now on. I'm not driving stick shift. So he's a very skilled driver also.
No, I know he is. He's so funny. So anyway, it's funny that he admitted he still likes to drive fast. Anyway, I know you had moved on from Pacific Ballroom Dance. You didn't do your senior year, right? Because you had moved on to your acting and singing career, right? You decided to kind of spend more time with that.
Yeah.
And did you miss PBD when you left it? Was it hard?
I totally did. I totally did. So for the year after I left the teams, I did spend another year or 2 years. I'm not quite sure. I think 2 years of doing some individual competition. And of course at those competitions I would see all the PBD folk, and it was really fun in a lot of ways. There was the upside was, I suppose, that so that's a picture from one of the years right after Pacific Ballroom Dance. But while I think everybody who's been a part of it, Matt was just saying, how much energy being on team takes, especially when you're on team and you're doing a lot of individual competition. It's kind of this war for your time and your energy. So I did miss everyone, but I sort of had the best of both worlds. I got to see people and have a little more energy to devote to just the individual competition. So that was good.
Can you tell us a little bit about what right now none of us are doing much of anything, but we're moving ahead and finding new ways to discover ourselves as we move forward. And I know you're a very positive person, but what have you been doing? I know you've been in New York, and I know you've been doing a lot of auditions and learning a lot and still dancing different forms. Can you fill us in on some of the stuff?
Yeah, a little. I'll do a quick segue from, so you mentioned I sort of left the team and devoted ballroom dancing towards the end of high school. And it was kind of beautiful because this sort of speaks to the deep kind of support that Pacific Ballroom Dance and all of its teachers and the community there are. So I was sort of discovering my voice at the time, that I could sing. And of course, along with that often comes acting, because you're always telling a story. And in fact, I describe myself now, after having kind of experienced more of the art forms, as an actress first, because so here's a picture from a show I did off Broadway in New York. And I say I'm an actress first because whether you're dancing or you're singing, the underlying purpose is to tell a story. And obviously, you could say that so clearly with all of the, the 5 different Latin dances, the 5 different standards, each one has its own story, and you have to kind of embody the dance. So I found that, and the teachers so supportive in my sort of making a shift. And in fact, almost all my team members came to see a couple of musicals I was in as all of this was transitioning. So to answer your question about now, when I left, I eventually left Seattle a couple years ago, 4 or 5 years ago actually, and I moved to New York to just continue pursuing the acting, singing, dancing. So that led me primarily to musical theater, This was really fun. This picture was, I think, 2 Christmases ago or something, 2 or 3.
Yep.
And PBD was kind enough to invite me back to sing a song while there were some wonderful dancers on stage. That was really cool to collaborate like that. But
I was glad to see
anyway.
you, as usual. Or
Huh?
I was glad to see you as usual.
I know. You know, your first comment, actually, having seen me at Christmas time, this is such a an ode. This is such a perfect example to anyone who doesn't intimately know PBD of the way people stay involved in each other's lives. I mean, it'd been a while, and you and Nikki came down to see a performance, like spur of the moment. So anyway, so to wrap up what I'm doing now, I think I'm still in New York. I'm not right now. I'm luckily home with my family while all of this chaos is happening. But otherwise, I'm based in New York, still pursuing all the opportunities I've been given in the acting world. And that's actually led me a little more to some film as well. So film and then musical theater, kind of the Broadway world. And those have sort of led me also to the interest in producing. I think most artists see eventually that they want to have a little bit more creative control, which is what producing allows you to do. Gives you a hand in creating work that speaks to you a little bit more than just being handed something.
So I'm gonna ask you, before I ask you to sing this little song I asked you to sing just at the very end, so we can hear your beautiful voice. That's just personally because I love Carol Burnett, makes me happy, and her shows just made me giggle all the time. So I'm gonna have you sing her closing little song. But what did PBD, and when people donate, what did it actually? What were, like, we have our specific things, you know, dedication, excellence. What did it give you? What did it give you?
I think it gave me, I'm sure I'm not the first to say that it gave you a real self-confidence, but a confidence in other people, a real trust that there's a family out there for you, that there's just a huge support. I mean, I even just by our conversation now, you know, it's people who affect you for the rest of your life. And I don't know if this is exactly your question, but everyone's kind of been asked why to donate to PBD. And I would say, you know, we all realize that investing in the youth is an investment in ourselves and our future and society. And PBD does a wonderful job of seeing that the arts is a way to foster all of those other values in each individual. So it's been
I love it. But now you get to sing. Do I cue you in?
No, I'll cue myself, and I'm pulling up my little lyric cheat sheet because So I heard about Carol Burnett, of course, all her show, but I didn't know this song, so I have a little cheat sheet, and I'm singing a cappella for everybody. So,
all right, we're ready.
I'm so glad we had this time together, just to have a laugh or sing a song. Seems we just get started, and before you know it, comes the time we have to say so long.
Love you, Melissa. Thank you.
Thank you all. Thank you.
You're awesome.
Bye.
I'm passing it off to somebody. Take care. I'll talk soon.
Bye.